State your name.
Isaiah Delos Santos.
Mhm.
I just want to say that I was just going through a rough patch. You know, it's not an excuse for what I did, but I would just like a chance to prove to myself, to my kids, and to this court that I don't need drugs. I don't need none of that stuff.
He wanted a second chance to prove himself to his kids, but the judge had one major concern before letting him walk.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3928, State of Texas versus Delos Santos. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Your hand, Your Honor. John Robertson for Mr. Delos Santos.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on January 4th. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. The state is silent on your application and punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 4 years in the prison. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor. No objections, Your Honor, but a correction on page 2, criminal history. In the box, it shows 6 arrests. It's actually a single arrest in April of 2022 in Kinney County. So it's actually 1 arrest.
Okay.
And I can confirm to the court, I spoke to the clerk this morning out there, any case or cases are not indicted. And from talking to my client, there may be some issues that they're looking into, and that could be the reason they're not indicted, but obviously we're not here to get into the facts of that case.
Okay.
Other than that, no objections.
All right. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we're asking the court to follow the agreement and place Issei on deferred adjudication. He's got 2 minor children. He's been employed in the past. He shares custody with the mother of the children. He supports them financially. Hadn't been in any trouble before this period in his life. Clean criminal history besides the Kinney County matter and this matter. I think some of the issues with the offer in the case were based on unknowns about the Kinney County case. But I don't think there was anything malevolent going on there based on what my client told me to begin. We're not here for today. Your Honor, he's motivated to do probation.
So let me ask you this. Is the Kinney County case, are those cases still open?
They do it differently than we do. So they don't really have a record. He was released on a PR bond. He spent a long time in jail and was finally released on a PR bond because he was unindicted.
Okay.
I don't know where they're going to go, but from just talking to my client, it sounds like he was with his employer. They took 5 guys that worked for his employer from San Antonio to Brackettville to do a job, and we're driving back to San Antonio and we're pulled over.
Okay.
And so other than that, I don't know what's going on with those cases.
All right. And the reason why I asked, because there are certain things that if I order them, if he has pending cases, Bear County is not going to let him go anywhere. So
Right.
I have an idea what I'm going to do. And counsel, I'm going to depend on you to keep track of whether or not he's being released to go to where I'm going to send him. Then things may change because they're recommending inpatient treatment.
Right. And I'd like to address the court.
All right. I'll hear your addressing of the inpatient treatment.
Your Honor, I believe my client's been clean since the date of the offense, which was December of 2022. At this point in time, he's not having any acute issues with any drug use. He's been clean. I would ask the court to consider releasing him on a deferred and have him do 90 days, 90 meetings in 90 days, see how he does. And if he does well, put him into an outpatient program where he can get back to work and support his children.
All right. Anything you wish to say?
Yes,
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I just want to say
State your
that
name.
Isaiah Delos Santos.
Mhm.
I just want to say that I was just going through a rough patch. You know, it's not an excuse for what I did, but I would just like a chance to prove to myself, to my kids, and to this court that I don't need drugs. I don't need none of that stuff.
All right, and what's up with all of the tattoos? What's that about?
Oh, it's just I like art. If you can see, it's just art. It's just like just art. Is nothing. This one was a mistake. I want to take this off on my face.
Oh, what is it?
It's just like a heart in the crime. But this is just art.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's going to be a referral to felony drug court while in custody. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. If felony drug court does not accept him, and you need to make sure that felony drug court knows you have a drug or alcohol problem, so they will accept you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't be dishonest with them. But if for any reason he's not accepted in felony drug court, then we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. There's to be proof of employment within 15 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 300 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes, and he can do parenting classes with compadre y compadre. Once he completes parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. We're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. There's to be field visits one time per month for 3 months. And then at probation's discretion. All right, this is a second-degree felony. What is the court cost? And probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, and state, if you could have his counsel to sign that, please. All right, the court cost is going to be approximately $395 to $400. Will you be able to pay that in installments? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. You're going to have to do better.
Thank you.
Ever walk into court and immediately get asked about your face tattoos? That's exactly what happened to Isaiah, who was in front of Judge Boyd for a drug charge. He pleaded no contest, hoping for a break to get back to work and support his 2 kids. But here's the catch. He's got a pending case in another county that's basically in limbo. Judge Boyd, clearly thinking ahead, pointed out that those open cases could complicate his release. After hearing Isaiah apologize, saying he hit a rough patch and just wants a chance to prove himself to his kids, Judge Boyd laid down the law. She sentenced him to 6 years of deferred adjudication with a clear message: get into felony drug court, complete 90 meetings in 90 days, and no working with minors. The cute moment? When Isaiah admitted his face tattoo was a mistake he wants removed. The final warning from the judge? He's got to do better.
You entered a plea of guilty on December 7th. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 3 years in the prison, and the state is recommending community supervision.
So Judge, the only real issue that I need to speak to is what kind of treatment options the court wants to employ when it comes to Mr. Luna.
Okay, just give me one moment. Was a PSI done for him?
It was, Judge. I've got a copy of it right here.
All right, I'm just pulling up his TAP evaluation. All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Well, because we're recommending probation, Judge, yes, ma'am.
All right, any
And we
objections?
have, Judge, no, I don't have any objections.
All right, so according to the PSI report, it says his guilt is minimized. And then TAP evaluation is recommending inpatient treatment.
Well, Judge, and I don't think that he's minimizing his guilt. I think the issue, is that Mr. Luna indicated to the TAP evaluator and to PSI that he does not currently believe that he needs any kind of intensive alcohol treatment. I think that's where the issue is going to be. And I'd like to speak to that when the court is ready for it.
Yes, I'm ready for it.
Okay. So, as the court can see, Mr. Luna's criminal history consists of 2 other DWIs in this one. He had not had a DWI in
about 18 years when this happened. And there were some difficulties in the family, and Mr. Luna just got into some bad habits again. While he was on bond, he had an issue with his ignition interlock in March of 23. That was a year ago, Judge. The way the court dealt with it at that time was to increase the supervision, have him test weekly, and have him do 90 meetings in 90 days. And he's done those things. And all that was very beneficial to Mr. Luna. Helped him to kind of look in the mirror and decide that he needed to start doing things differently, that he had gotten into some bad habits and needed to get out of those habits. And so since March of last year, Mr. Luna has been compliant with his conditions of bond, to the point, Judge, where I truly believe that he's ready to be compliant, cooperative, and to fulfill all his conditions of probation. So what I ask the court at this time to consider is to consider intensive outpatient treatment rather than sending him to SATF. He is working, the family does need the income. And as the court can see over the past year, Mr. Luna's in a position where he can be compliant with the court and fulfill his conditions.
All right, probation.
Yes, Judge.
He did complete the 90 sober meetings in 90 days that the court required of him. So, yes. So are you okay with starting with intensive outpatient treatment instead of inpatient treatment? All right, this is what the court is going to do. And I'm sorry, Ms. Abrams, it's Rudy DeLeon Luna. Court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 2 years. And to the clerk, this is a third degree. If you could tell me the court costs. $500 fine, and it's a DWI. Probated, intensive outpatient treatment with probation. We're going to do a referral to felony drug court. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider with minors. Ignition interlock for half the term. 150 hours of community service restitution. 2 years driver's license suspension. DWI education. VIP live. In lieu of, well, let me ask you this. You can either do 10 days at the Bexar County Jail, or either you can do GPS. It will be partial for work. And if you're going to be working on the GPS, then it's going to be 30 days at the GPS. Which would you prefer?
I would do GPS.
All right. In lieu of the 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, the court will order partial GPS for employment for 30 days. And the reason the court is doing GPS as opposed to 10 days in the Bexar County Jail because of health issues, overcrowding, things of that nature.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Right. Yes. All right, your court costs are going to be approximately $425 to probably $500. Will you be able to pay that in installments?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And there's to be regular random UAs, field visits, 1 time per month for 3 months, and then at probation's discretion. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Clarify the DWI education that is.
Yes.
Yes, that's enough.
Anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. If something comes up and there's something you need and you feel as though probation is not addressing it, you can always ask the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.